When someone chooses to listen to a politician, a so-called journalist, a community leader that spouted that type of vilification towards law enforcement or anything else, when you choose to listen to that, that is a choice, and there are consequences and actions there also. I think we saw that yesterday. Those actions and choices can obviously have tragic consequences, bad outcomes, outcomes that law enforcement never wants to see. Law enforcement never wants to see a bad consequence due to a poor choice.
And to talk more about this, joining us now is Katherine Schweit, former FBI special agent. Thank you very much, Katherine, for being here with us today. Can you start perhaps by talking to us about the complexity of this incident from what we know so far from state officials?
Yeah, I think that we look at all of the confusion about facts and circumstances and all the emotions, but we really should start back with what is the deadly force policy. You know, what is it? When can a federal law enforcement officer pull a trigger? And I wanted to I'm just going to read a sentence or two from it. It says that agents may use deadly force only when necessary, when an agent has a reasonable belief that the subject of such force poses an imminent danger of death or serious physical injury to the agent or another person, and if feasible, a warning should be given. So all of what happened before, all the politics, all the rhetoric is almost irrelevant. It is irrelevant. And law enforcement is not a job for the faint of heart. And, you know, training requires you to understand when someone has a weapon, that doesn't mean it's an automatic threat and someone can fire.
There are different angles that have been taken, different video, different accounts of what happened. But from what you've seen, was it necessary for that officer to use fatal force?
You know, I will say this as a FBI agent, as a federal former agent, a former law enforcement officer, and a former prosecutor. And no one ever wants to say, this is what's going on, and this is what I definitively know. I only have the same videos that everybody else is seeing. I don't see any evidence indicating on that video that there was a need to shoot. And I think that one of the things that was most striking for me is there's 5 or so people who have climbed on top of this gentleman, and they're proning him out. Whatever they're choosing to do, they are, and they're pulling his hands and pulling a weapon away from him that he is allowed to carry under the law of that land. So there might seem like a threat if there's a weapon present, but that's not really. The presence of a gun doesn't give an automatic justification for deadly force. In fact, the officers always should look to de-escalate, and they should have disarmed as they did. But then the question for me would be, what do the facts show that would indicate anything that would require somebody to then pull a trigger?
So many questions remain surrounding this. Thank you very much, Katherine, for your time. We will unfortunately have to leave it there, but that is Katherine Schweit, former FBI special agent.
Thank you.